And I think we're recording now. So welcome and thank you everyone for joining us today for the Zoom at Noon series featuring the degree completion program focusing on social work here at Bluffton University. My name is Shelby Koenig and I am the enrollment counselor for the adult and graduate studies programs. I also work with the degree completion students and I look forward to meeting and chatting with you all more in depth about the program. A few notes for you all. If you are joining us live today, we invite you to put your questions in the question and answer box at the bottom of the page, and we will address all the questions at the end of the presentation. I would like to introduce Dr. Walt Paquin, who is the Director of Social Work as well as Professor of Social Work, and he will talk to us a little bit more about the social work program more in depth. Walt, I will share my screen here. And go ahead and take it away, Walt.
Thank you, Shelby. So the social work program at Bluffton University is beginning an evening social work or degree completion social work program here aimed at adult students. And so the plan is that students who have completed an associate's degree can come to Bluffton and in 2 years get their bachelor's in social work. For students that have an associate degree in human service, that's going to be the most direct path. But students who have associate degrees in criminal justice, in early childhood education, in any field actually, can come to Bluffton and can complete their bachelor's degree in social work in 2 years. Students that don't have that associate in human services or may not have taken a course in human development and interviewing skills would need to take those 2 courses online before the cohort begins in the fall. That would be 2 courses that we'd offer online for students to get caught up with any kind of associate's degree. If you don't have an associate's degree but have a number of years of college or a number of credits in college, we can look at your transcripts and see what you do have and make a determination about how many classes you would need. So even if you've taken a couple of semesters of coursework but didn't finish that associate's degree, don't let that discourage you from applying to the program. We can work with you and figure out an option for you that would work best. So just a couple of components of the program. The program will meet 1 night a week. So the first cohort starting in August, you'll meet on Wednesday nights. So throughout the program, you'll know every Wednesday night you're meeting either on campus or virtually. And those classes will be offered from 6 to 10 p.m. So after work, the social work practice courses are offered on campus so that you can interact with faculty. The other general education courses are offered online, including a number of courses that you'll take with other degree completion students at Bluffton. Our field placement, so you do 448 hours of field work at the end of your term. That will happen in the spring of your 2nd year or in the summer or a combination of both depending on work schedules and how many hours you can get in. And so the program is designed really to allow people to continue working or to take care of children or adult parents and to be able to complete their degree. So you're not on campus during the day, and again, only 1 night a week, and that'll be Wednesday nights for the first group. Here's a sample of the courses that you would take, and I'll just highlight for students who have not do not have a social work degree or an associate's degree in human services. This interviewing and theory skills and this developmental psychology class are the 2 classes that we would have you take online before you enter the cohort. And then once you started that cohort, you would take human behavior and social environment. You would take practice 1, work with individuals and families, and then faith and community. And faith and community is one of our general education courses, and that would be online. So just a sample of this first semester, the way it's laid out right now. Your first and your last human behavior course are in person. The middle 4 are online. So you would start August 4th in person. The next 4 classes will be online. And then September, I'm looking at 8th would be in person. And then Faith and Community is taken in that second 6-week block. So classes are all 6 weeks long. Faith and Community would be in that second block, and you would have that entirely online from September 15th through October 20th. And then Practice 1, all 6 of those classes would be on campus. So you'd be on campus every Wednesday night from October 27th through December the 8th, taking off the Wednesday of Thanksgiving. So that would give you one sample of what a semester would look like. The summer block is there for students who still need to finish some general education classes. So all of your social work courses will not get you enough credits to graduate. And so we have filled this in. This is a sample. You may have taken a history class, so you would need to take our history class, but you might need to take a fine arts class, or you might have already had a lab biology, and so you would need to take a literature class. And so those classes will be tailored based on the courses you've had previously with your associate's degree. And those courses can be taken at Bluffton, they can be taken at Rhodes, they can be taken online or at Owens. So there's a lot of flexibility in those general education classes during the summer. Next slide. As a student at Bluffton, you're entitled to all of the services that are available. So the library is available for you. You'll have a code. One of the nice things with the library system in Ohio is that they're all connected. And so as a student at Bluffton, you could get books delivered to Bluffton from other libraries if you're going to go to campus, or you can also get books delivered to your local library. So if you live in Findlay, those books could be delivered to the Findlay Library. So it makes it pretty convenient. Our Writing Center, we do have some online options, so you can submit papers online and have those read and reviewed and get feedback. Our Learning Resource Center, if you have any kind of accommodations, additional time on exams, or a note taker, those can be provided, as well as tutoring, particularly for things like science classes. And then you have access to our Center for Career and Vocation, which does a great job helping students get connected. And I would just say there that a lot of times for social work students, particularly for our degree completion students, you're already in the field. It may be that you are needing that bachelor degree in social work to be promoted. Maybe you've been working as a human services representative, you've been working as a case manager in your organization, and that bachelor's degree is going to either give you a pay raise, it's going to give you more flexibility, it's going to be a stepping stone into a supervisory position. But if you don't know what you want to do after you finish your bachelor's degree, the Center for Career and Vocation is a great resource to help you get your resume put together, get it out there, connect you with people looking for positions. And I would also just say, as we're talking a little bit about the Center for Career and Vocation, that if you are anticipating moving out of the state at some point, or when you get your bachelor's degree, want to move, because we are an accredited program, you can take your bachelor's degree anywhere and get a job. So we've had students who've gotten jobs. My furthest away was in Nebraska, but just this week I got a request for a reference for a student of ours that just went to Washington State and has been out there about 3 weeks and has already gotten a couple of job interviews and a job offer. So your bachelor's degree is very transferable, and the Center for Career Vocation can help you make those. Here are a couple of students who went through a degree completion program with us a number of years ago. Carol Metzger runs the Cancer Patient Services in Findlay, Ohio, has a master's in business administration as well. Out of some of the coursework that Carol did with us, she actually applied for a $100,000 grant that she got. And so I really found that degree in social work very helpful in terms of things like grant applications, understanding the language, seeing a whole nother perspective. And then Holly Watt went through the program, and Holly was in a situation similar to what I described earlier, where that bachelor degree allowed her to continue to move up at Equitas Health, where she's been working for a number of years. And so it was a really strong program for both of them, and both of them are currently on our social work advisory board. So these are two students who have completed our degree completion program a number of years ago. So field placement requirements, some of you may have questions about that. Field placement can be done in a variety of ways. One option is to do field placement where you're working. Your field placement would have to be different than your job responsibilities, and you would have to report to a different supervisor, but it is possible to do that. And folks have worked that out in a variety of different ways. It may be that if your program or if your agency has an evening program, you can do your field placement in the evenings at that same agency. It might be that you can reduce your work hours a little bit and then do your field placement. It might be that your field or your employer would offer you a new job paid part-time to count as your field hours. So there are a lot of ways to do this, and we can work with you and with your organization to make sure that the appropriate paperwork is filled out. You just cannot be doing the same job with the same exact supervisor and count that as your field hours. You do have to do 448 hours, and we either spread that over your spring semester or over spring and summer, again, depending on what works best for you. If you do it over a semester, it's 32 hours a week is what we estimate. If you do it over spring and summer, it would be about 15 hours a week would be the estimate. And if you work full-time, again, we can find field placements that have evening options, that have weekend options. So we're able to get you into a field placement that gets you the hours that you need. Our students take the licensure exam, so the BSW license exam. And our pass rate for that exam has been in the upper 80s and 90% range, which is the national average is around 75 to 78%. So we're always above that average. We do a lot of work to help prepare you for that exam. And that exam is just one more certification that shows your competence and that indicates to employers that you are well prepared, and our students do very well there.
Thanks, Walt. So next we're going to jump into the cost and financial aid piece of the presentation. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what the cost is for this program. So it's going to be $495 per semester hour. And we also require a $125 technology fee per semester. So the minimum, I think Walt touched upon this, there is 43 core semester hours. And then students are also eligible for financial aid, and our FAFSA code is listed on the screen here. And we also have veterans benefits. So if you are a military veteran, check to see if you are qualify for any grants and such like that. And then employer reimbursement policy, we have a form that you can fill out. If your company does this, we can provide the paperwork and work through that. And we also have payment plans as an option as well. So you don't have to pay for everything up front. We will work with you. And then books and materials are also an additional cost. Walt did a really good job about mentioning that you can get your books through the library. We have the Ohio Link option as well. And then recently we started a corporate partnership program about a year ago. And this is one of the programs that I work with here at Bluffton. And so with the corporate partnership program, we have a lot of partners that are in the Lima community, and we're starting to expand further than that. And so what the partnership program is if you work at a company and they have this policy, you could be applicable for a 20% tuition discount. So make sure that you check with your company to see if they are a partner with Bluffton University. And we also have a, if you go on to www.bluffton.edu, /partners. You can also check on our website too, just to verify. And so for next steps for the admissions requirements, applicants must have some transferable college credit in order to start this master's program, or I'm sorry, this social work program. We do require that the student must have a minimum of a 2.0, and the applicant must be actively employed. For the steps for the application process, it's very quick and easy. It's a free online application. And then we do require an updated resume, a personal statement, just letting us know what your goals and expectations are for the program. And then make sure you request your official final transcripts from the registrar's office at your institution. That way we can create a plan of study for you. And then once again, make sure you file the FAFSA and the employer reimbursement policy if that's applicable. And then once my vice president accepts you into the program, we do require a $100 enrollment deposit to secure your spot for classes, and then we can go ahead and get you registered for the course. So on the screen here, this is my contact information. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all. My email is listed as well as my phone number. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you. So next we will jump into any questions that were listed in the question and answer box, and Walt will address those. So it looks like we have a couple questions. Walt, go ahead and read those off.
Sure. First question is, again, what night of the week or how many nights a week is the program? And the program is one night a week. The first cohort will come through. It will always be Wednesday nights, or will be your meeting nights. So you can plan for that. And the courses, again, are 6 weeks long. And the classes are for 4 hours each night. You may not be in class the whole 4 hours, but you should certainly allot from 6 to 10. But you'll only be in class one night every week. Let's see here. The next question is asking about master's in social work and combination with a bachelor's in social work. So the bachelor degree in social work allows students to obtain advanced standing for a master's degree. And what that means is in social work, and what that means is if you have an undergraduate degree in social work, you usually can trim off about a semester, maybe a little bit more of an MSW or master's degree. You're able to get a master's in social work with any undergraduate degree. One of my closest friends had a degree in journalism and got a master's degree in social work, but it took her an additional semester because she didn't have that undergraduate degree. And so if you're thinking about a master's degree in social work at some point, and a lot of our degree completion students do go on to get their master's degree, this will help save you a semester of coursework doing that master's degree. And there are a number of masters in social work around. In-person degrees at Wright State, Toledo, Bowling Green, The Ohio State, and then online programs as well at most of those schools. And we've had students go to Simmons University in Boston and to schools out in Colorado and in the Southwest online. So the master's degree in social work is really helpful in this bachelor's in social work. Degree completion will prepare you for that. So even though you're doing the degree completion, you will have all of your degree will say Bachelor of Arts in Social Work, and that has all the rights and privileges that the four-year traditional degree has. Shelby, I'm also, as students are emailing you or prospective students are emailing you or getting in touch with you, if students have particular questions about the social work program, about their transcripts, etc., I would be glad to answer those questions as well. So certainly you can forward that information to me.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your time, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks so much.